Hello, and welcome back to the channel. As most of you know, I'm Topher. And for those of you who don't know and just randomly decided to click on my video, welcome to the channel. I'm Topher. Thank you for stopping by. So we're here to do a reaction, and we are reacting to Lovely Writer. We're reacting to episode 12, the final episode. It has been such a fantastic journey thus far, and yeah, sad and excited to see where it ends. Last episode, there were all kinds of shenanigans and just unfortunateness happening in Jean and Sib's relationship, and the fact that Sib is in the public eye and he's being shipped with Oi, and it's just like it sucks. I had lots of thoughts, but we're gonna see how this ends. There was a little bit at the end of last episode that I didn't have in my reaction, but I did see while I was editing, where I think it was like a quick little flash forward, and Gene was like on his laptop, and it's like 4 months later or something. It wasn't anything huge. At least I don't think it was anything huge. But a couple of you guys put that down in the comment section. So I did see it. No worries there. Just like with the last few episodes, I'm going to split this reaction into 2 parts. So the first part will be out whenever it comes out, and then the last half of this episode's reaction will be out shortly after. Either I'll upload this first half in the morning, so then the last half will be uploaded in the evening, or I'll upload the first half in the evening and the last half will be up in the morning. It'll be up relatively soon. Either way, we're gonna just dive on in and just see where this story ends. Oh Lord, well that was the I don't know. Well, they're sure not holding any punches for the first half of this final episode. I'll tell you that. They if you thought that they were gonna make it most light and easy fix and all that kind of stuff just because it's the last episode and we need to get everyone all happy and whatnot, nope. They're like, we're still gonna give you every bit of emotional roller coaster. And what they're doing, which I really love, is, and I've mentioned this in other series, I think Until We Meet Again, I've mentioned a number of times in other series I've seen, there's so many quiet moments in this episode so far that are just so effective and so beautiful. Like when in the first part, when Sib was just washing his hands, he was washing his hands, and then he just leaned up against the bathroom counter and he's just looking, he's staring, he's looking, he's thinking. Or when Gene woke up in his apartment 4 months later, and he's just laying there staring at the laptop, and we have all these different shots panning the room, panning him from this angle, looking at his reflection in the laptop. Or in that last scene, after Boy got off the live, and he's just looking around and realizing how empty he actually is, and he's just going through this multitude of emotions, and it's just like no words are being said. There are no words being said in those scenes, and there are a couple other scenes like that happen too, and it's just like we lingered in those moments for so long, and it was just so effective. It's just incredible, and it speaks well to the directing and to the acting. The actors are amazing, which I don't know if I've said that enough throughout the series. I feel like I've talked a lot about like the characters and the situations, and I feel like I might have mentioned a couple of times the actors. I know I've definitely talked about Boy's actor Bruce, because he has gone through this gambit of emotions like 700 times throughout the series. He's a very complex character, so the actor has a very difficult job to do to portray him. But like all 3 of them in this particular episode, well, no, I mean everyone, he didn't get like super duper deep emotional like they did, but still, like, he had a great range of emotions too in the first part, where like he's packing up, he's ready to go, he's had this resignation letter typed up for God knows how long, and just sitting on it depending, okay, when is it gonna happen? He's like, okay, today's the day. So then he finally goes to turn it in, then boom, one stroke of fortune hits his way, because Gene gave the manuscript to Bua way back when, and she's like, yep, we're publishing it, and all of a sudden, bam, world turned around, and it's just a quick emotional change. It's like the actors are doing such an amazing job to be able to portray such real and complex emotions and situations. Because, like, I won't say that we've all had these, moments, but a lot of us have had these moments in one way or another where it's like, we might be sad or distraught about something, or like in Jean's case, you just lack the motivation. Maybe it's depression, or maybe it's just, life in general, something's happened, but you just lack that motivation, you lack that energy, that drive, and like you want to do something, you feel like you should be doing this thing. In Jean's case, it's writing the last chapter of his novel, but it's like you just can't find it. You can't find it in yourself, and you don't know what to do with yourself. You kind of just wallow. You just exist. Or if you're having feelings like, which I'm very, very sorry for you if you have, and I hope that if you had that in the past, you're not feeling that way now. If you are, I hope that you can find someone to talk to or to help you in feeling, I don't know, that's a whole nother thing that I'm going to get into in a minute. But like there's such a complex series of emotions all these characters have been going through, and the actors are doing such an amazing job because they're not having dialogue in these scenes to really, say, I'm feeling sad, I'm feeling upset. So all they have is just their eyes and their movements, their body language to convey these series of emotions, and it's so incredibly well done. They're so good, so good. But yeah, if we backtrack to the beginning of the episode, we're getting ready for this press conference, and at first I didn't really understand what the press conference was for. But then once we got to the press conference, because I kept saying like, well, why does Jean need to be here? I'm not part of this damn series. Why do I gotta be here? But then I'm like, okay, it's specifically a press conference to address the Jean Sim thing. I'm like, okay, it kind of makes sense that Jean is here then. And what I liked about it is like, the press conference kind of kept me on my toes a little bit. Like I wasn't sure where things were gonna go. I thought we were gonna come in and just be like, okay, we're gonna lie, essentially. Like, yeah, there's no relationship, this, that, and the other. But like they kept throwing me these curveballs. Like Jean's like, yeah, he stayed with me. He slept in my apartment, and we're like, woo! I'm like, ooh, okay, we spilling tea, and then Tom's sister's like, okay, I think I better handle this situation. Y'all shut the fuck up over there. So yes, we had a lot of amazing talent, so we ran out of housing, so so that's why when people live together, they get close. So that's what happened. I hope you guys understand this. Gene, if you say another fucking word, I swear to God, So it's like at first when he said that, I was like, oh, are we just gonna like undermine everything and just be like, hey, no, we were in a relationship? And part of me was kind of like, yes, please get this out, spill all of this tea. Like I know I would have eaten it up. I know the reporters would have had a field day. But I understand the why they're doing what they're doing for the sake of the series and whatnot. But again, it's speaking on a very true reality for people. It's these actors, they've got so much pressure on them, and I've had so many amazing comments on my last two, or my reactions to my part 2 and part 1 reaction to episode 11, and it's just like, yeah, these actors, it's not even just the fact that they're pretending to be together for the sake of the series. Like it kind of goes past that when you think of all the fan service that they're doing, whether it's fan service on each other's social media, or like, okay, we're gonna go to this talk show and we're gonna play it up here, or hey, we're gonna go to this game. The number of things that I've reacted to of various ships or BL actors off camera, but like going to like certain game shows. History 3 Trapped is coming to my mind first, and like they're playing these games where it's like, oh, just put them in all these situations where they have to touch each other, be close, and all that kind of stuff. And yes, it's fun to look at, and me, like I say a million times, if there's anything I like, it's hot men doing gay shit. So like, whether or not they were acting together, they're dating in real life, they're friends, they're enemies, whatever, they're hot guys doing gay shit. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna eat this up, gobble gobble gobble. But like, I'm not sitting here like, oh, they have to be a couple. Like, it'd be nice, sure, it's cute, but it ain't none of my goddamn business. They can do whatever they want to when they go home, but they don't have to do any of these things for me. But yeah, there's a lot that goes into just being an actor, actress, or it doesn't even just have to be in the BL world, but right now we're focusing on the BL world. But there's a lot that they put into it to sell this fantasy, to sell this illusion. And while yes, there are fans who realize that, hey, they're actors, this is their job, and it's fun to see them outside of this, doing whatever. There's still those other fans who are hardcore toxic, who are like basically what this show is kind of portraying, what these last couple episodes have been portraying, and it's so unfortunate. It is so unfortunate. I will never understand. Like I said, I would love it if those fans would watch this series and like see that, sort of reflected in them and be like, oh, holy crap, is this what I'm doing? But there's going to be a lot of people who see it and be like, oh, well, whatever, they're fake characters, so I can write it off. Or, oh, well, that's not me. And then they'll just go on continuing doing what they're doing. And it sucks. But yeah, the conference kept taking like U-turns all over the place, and I'm like, I don't know what's gonna happen, I don't know who's gonna spill what tea. And then eventually we got to the point where it's like, okay, yeah, no, we're not together, we're just very, very close, he's like a brother to me, and then Tom's sister's like, Gene, this is the part where you're supposed to put on a big smile. And I'm like, I swear to God, I didn't want to be in this conference to begin with, so you start whispering that shit to me and I'm gonna stab you in the fucking neck. Okay, back off, lady, back off. I'm doing my best. Like I said, I am not a celebrity. I didn't sign up to be a celebrity. I wrote a fucking book. That's all I did. I didn't ask for any of this stuff, and now y'all are ruining my relationship, ruining my life like this. I will smile if I want to smile. You back the fuck up. Internal monologue that internal monologue I was having with myself as Gene. But yeah, I didn't know where that press conference was gonna go. And like, one thing I still feel like it hasn't been addressed as far as like the group of them, because like Oi was like, yeah, y'all know Gene, Gene and I are close too. When they're like, oh, was Gene only close with Sib? Which I don't think we can say that the two of them were close. But like, we've never addressed, hey, I know you guys are trying to push Sib and Oi together for the sake of the series and advertising and all that kind of stuff, but Sib and Gene aren't the only two people where there was some sort of romantic, entanglement thing going on. Like, Oi was also trying to get him a piece of Gene, but we're not acknowledging that part. We're leaving that, dead and buried, and we're just pretending that doesn't exist. I'm like, well, why don't we talk about this too? Talk about how everybody wants Gene, and Sib's just the one who what? Maybe we can write Gene into the fucking series. Like, I don't know. It just feels kind of off to me that we're just leaving that little detail out, and we're letting Gene and Sib's relationship take off all the fire. Where it's like, well, Oi's not the only part of this Oi-Sib combination that wasn't in it for each other. Like, Sib didn't want to be with Oi didn't want to be with Sib. They both wanted to be with Gene. So like, it's not Gene's fault that he's amazingly delicious and he has the perfect lips. It's not Gene's fault that these two actors, who are actors and are allowed not to be in love with each other off camera, aren't in love with each other off camera. It's life, but for whatever reason, we can't understand that as a society. Well, not all of us, but there are people who just can't understand that. And I will never understand why people can't understand. But yeah, so all that happened, press conference, and you could see that it was killing Gene inside while Sib was talking. Because again, this is a solution we came up with, and this was what Gene was kind of pushing for at the end of the last episode. But finally hearing those words coming out of Sib's mouth, you could see it on his face, just every shot, just oh, right to the heart. And it's like, oh baby, I'm sorry. Yeah, and then we flashed forward 4 months. Already talked about Heen and Bua a little bit. It's nice that she had some level of conscience and was willing to apologize for the part that she played. Again, her part wasn't as big of a, part as, like, say, Tum's sister and, you know, the producers and all that kind of stuff in breaking up their relationship. She was just doing damage control for the publishing company. But still, she played some role in supporting their breakup, and, you know, she realizes the damage of what she did and just the situation in general, so she felt sorry. A lot of people in this apologizing for what they did, and it's like, you know, it's a little too late. The situation's happening. Oh, Sib and Oi, y'all. I'll put a pin in Bua and Heen, and I'll come back to them. Like, Sib and Oi, y'all. That scene when Sib left the bathroom and bumped into him, and Oi kept like trying to apologize, like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean for this to happen. I never thought we'd get here. Oh, this is what blah blah blah. And then Sib's just like, you didn't mean for it to get this far, but you did mean for this to happen, blah blah blah. Or, you know, he's talking. I'm like, call him out. I know that Oi feels bad, and I want to feel bad for him, but at the same time, he needs to realize what he did. And if that means he's going to be hurt and he's going to cry and all this kind of stuff, well, you know, so be it. You got to learn from your mistakes. You got to learn from what you're doing to other people. So I wanted him to just keep laying into him. But then always like, about the situation about Jean, I'll help. And then Sib just turned around and hugs him. He's like, thank you. And I'm like, the fuck is this? What kind of crazy drug trip am I on right now, Lord? What the hell was in my vape? Like, what? And I was so confused because I'm like, this don't make any sense. Like, maybe, okay, then I start going in my head, like, okay, maybe Sib just really believed him when he said he'll help. And he's like, oh, thank you, I have someone on my side who's gonna, you know, help set things right and whatnot. But I'm like, still, that feels like such a dramatic 180. I don't know. And then he kept talking, and then he's like hugging him, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? What is going on? And then Sib starts talking, and he's like, if you're worried that I won't be able to make it look convincing on camera, don't you worry. And then he starts hugging him a little tighter, hugging him by the waist, and he's like, I can be very convincing. And he keeps talking. I'm like, girl, this is scary. But I mean, it's a sign of a great actor because he's doing his fucking job. That's what he's hired to do, which again boils back to my original argument before. They're actors. This is their job. This is what they're hired to do. They're hired to portray these characters and then go home and live their lives. They're not hired to fall in love with each other and, you know, make babies and whatever. Like, Lord. So, like, he's here saying all of this stuff, basically like, I hate you. I will always hate you. I have nothing but contempt for you. These aren't the words he's saying, but this is the narrative that I'm injecting right now. But he's saying all of this stuff that is, like, piercing Oi to the core. Like, you can see him ready to just break into a million pieces. But the look on Sib's face is such a loving, caring look. He is embracing him so lovingly. And, like, if I were one of the fans on that staircase with the phones, which I wouldn't be because people are entitled to their private moments, so they have their fucking private moments. But, like, if I were an outsider looking in, I'd be like, damn, that is one passionate embrace. I am jealous. Let me get some of that. Let me get some of that. But then, like, they're just far enough where they can't hear what's being said. So it's like, from the outside looking in, it looks beautiful, it looks gorgeous, but when you are on the inside, it has nothing but hate and contempt and just poison. And I'm like, child, you better act your fucking ass off. I got chills. I felt all kinds of things. Lord, Cal did amazing. Love that scene. But anyway, yeah. So talked about Heen and Bua. Talked about again these quiet moments. I really love the scene with Jean and Heen. And just like, I feel like in the beginning of the series we had a lot of them together, and like the last episode or maybe episode and a half we had some more of them together, but I feel like we have, like, the whole middle ground was more just us building this world with Jean and Sib, which I get, so we didn't get a whole lot of their interactions together, but I love them. They're so adorable together. Just as, not like I'm not shipping them together. Don't want to start another toxic fandom or something like that. But like they're just adorable together. The relationship that they have, the brotherhood, the camaraderie, the friendship, and just the true genuine love and affection for one another. Like, it's so beautiful to see how much they care about each other and how they're there for each other. Like, that's what friends are for. That's what friends are supposed to do. You know, you're there in the good times, you're there in the bad times. You tell them when they're wrong, you slap them over the head and you say, okay, get your ass back. And you, like, it was heartwarming to see them together, and I love seeing them together like this. But then again, when Heen was leaving, you could see that, you know, he could see the real emotional state that Jean was in, and he didn't feel good about it. He didn't really know how to help the situation, but it's like, I honestly, he did what he could. He did as best as he could in the situation, and I feel like his words had some effect on Jean. Did they completely fix the situation? No, but at least Jean knows that, you know, there is that someone there, and there's someone who's felt down and out and was inspired by Jean's words, and now hopefully Jean can also get that same inspiration. And then we had the whole live session with Oi, which I'm like, okay, that's cute. We flash forward 4 months. He's having his own live session. He seems happy, but you know, we've seen that a million times. He always seems happy on camera because he's an actor and it's his job to seem happy. But then, as soon as the camera turned off the camera, he hopped on social media. That he hopped on Twitter, and that's what he's going through all the things and like, oh, please come back, please, you know, stay live longer. I miss you ever since the series ended. I'm going through a drought. I'm always going to be a fan of yours. Always going to be a supporter. Love you. Oh, Mox, in a new series. When are you going to be in a new series? I feel like that was really what kind of just set him off. And I don't know if it was so much like seeing Mok's face, because things didn't really end in a great place with them, which I would love to see resolution to that, but I don't think we will. Or if it was the fact that Mok was in a new series and like we're moving on to a new series and always clearly not doing a new series right now. But whatever it was that set him off, just set him off, and it was just this outpouring of just emotions. And I'm like, I keep saying, he is such a complex character. He has so many flaws. He is so broken. He is such a broken person, an empty, broken person, and it's heartbreaking to see. And he needs some kind of help. Whether it's going to a therapist and talking or something, I don't know, but he needs some kind of help because he has all of these issues that are being left unresolved, and he's just forcing his way through life, putting on a smile and just forcing his way through life. And then once the cameras are off, he just realizes how empty he really is. Like, he's looking around at all this stuff, all these gifts that he's been given, all the flowers and the candy and the portraits and this, that, and the other that, you know, fans have given him, and he, you know, his fan base has been his big like sustaining factor this entire series. Everything he's done to maintain his fan base because they seem to be that constant source of attention towards him. Like Sib said in their little scene in the beginning of the episode, like, you do everything for attention. He's very attention seeking because he's got this hole inside of him that he does not know how to feel. He feels very incomplete. He's very empty, so he keeps trying to fill it with fanfare and, you know, all his fans online and this, that, and the other. It's like he keeps telling people, you know, please don't forget about me, please don't stop supporting me, blah blah blah, I love you. And it's just like, and you know, yeah, it seems like he's saying it with a smile, so you know he's just joking, but it's like, no, he literally saying this. The number of times he's begged people not to leave him. When Tiffy was like, hey, I'm bouncing, he's like, please don't leave me, I'll up your pay, you what, 10, 15%, 20, 30, 40, take my whole paycheck, please just don't leave. And it's like, oh baby, like I'm sad to see it, but like that's again speaking to how alone he feels. The fact that he he feels like he can just buy people's affection and buy people to just stay with him, because he needs that constant validation. And it's sad. It's very, very sad. And there are lots of people who have that problem. And like I said, it's something that, you know, needs to be dealt with, but not everybody has the strength or the foresight to be able to address it and deal with it on their own. Some people need outside help. Some people need, you know, therapy, or some people need to talk to somebody. And he's not getting that. He's not getting that. And it's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking. It's so heartbreaking to see. It's very, that's all I really can say. It's just heartbreaking to see. Like, I would love to see him happy and stable, but like, he's not doing anything to get himself to that place. And I don't know if he's I don't know if he's cognizant enough to realize, but I feel like he's very, very self-aware of the things that he's doing and how he's treating people, and the fact that he feels empty all the time. But I just don't know if he has it in him to really try and make that change or seek out help to make that change. And that's really what he needs to do. He needs some form of help to deal with these problems, to deal with these issues. Yeah, so it's sad. It's sad. It's sad to see. But we've got a whole nother 2 parts left, so we're gonna see where the last half of this episode goes. Like I said at the top of this, whatever time of day I upload this reaction, part 2 will be up on the opposite end. So if I upload this in the morning, then that'll be up in the evening. If I upload this in the evening, then part 2 will be up in the morning. Either way, it'll be up soon. So I hope you guys enjoyed this reaction. If you did, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, turn on notifications so you'll be notified when all of my shenanigans get posted. If there's anything else you'd like me to react to, be sure to leave it down in the comments and I'll get to it as soon as I possibly can. If you'd like to support the channel in other ways, you're more than welcome to join us over on Patreon. You don't have to, but you're more than welcome to if you want to. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Love ya. And before you guys go, a shout out to my amazing patrons. I can't begin to express how thankful I am for your support. And if you guys would like to join us over on Patreon, the link is down in the description. Love you guys.